they hear the main thesis idea he's kind of about change, hope. You keep hearing constantly drilled into your head, he is the one. They think he's going to change something when it's so scary because a simple look at his record would tell you different. And with the CFR appointments, most people in America don't even know what the Council on Foreign Relations is. So to them, he's just appointing more people. He's just appointing people that they think will be changed size, when really they're for genetically modified foods, genetically modified garbage, or for one world government, trying to civil liberties. And you see, to deal with economic policy, and we have people struggling with poverty in this country and jobs, who was elected in economics? Warren Buffett, the richest man in the world, to help the poor. It's a totally elite cabinet.
Exactly. You're 100% right. And constantly repeating something over and over, like you're saying, change and hope, that's the most simplistic form of mind control, and that's exactly what we're witness to. I'm curious, what led you to begin to question the government and to question the events of 9/11? What woke you up?
We watched a video on the physics of September 11th, one of these hit pieces in science class, and this before I even heard that there was a conspiracy theory involving the attack. And I thought, wow, that looked like an implosion. That looked like a controlled demolition. And there was just so many discrepancies with the story. The Pentagon, Building 7. Building 7 wasn't even mentioned in the film. So a simple research shows that, 1,300 towers don't fall at free fall speed, and 47-story steel skyscrapers don't fall with scattered fires. And a lot of this stuff, I hate to say it, is common sense. But it was just holes in the official story that made me question it and led me to the conclusion that it was an inside job. And if anyone denies that, please attempt to prove us wrong. It is proof beyond a reasonable doubt.
Do you see this purposely imploded economy moving us into a new financial order and the consolidation of power into fewer and fewer hands?
Yeah, the elite, they purposely imploded the economy, then they get this bailout that fails, they put in little sweeteners that are all in all for them. Now the bailout passes. These banks are stealing trillions of dollars from the American citizens. And now they're gonna be the only people with money. And that's what they want. They want one elite group to have all the power and all the money. There'll be no middle class, no lower class, and there you go with the population reduction as well. The Federal Reserve is stealing money, all these other banks are stealing money, and maybe soon they'll import the Amero. They'll have a one-world currency or something. Pretty soon, $100 is going to be worth $10, something in the essence like that.
Well, I certainly do agree with you. I commend you on what you're doing. We would like to have you back on from time to time to update your investigation and your work. And I'd like to give you the last word. Anything that you'd like to add, tell us about your different websites. And again, it was an honor to have you on The Real News today, Rob. Thanks.
I'd just like to have you all go on NWOalert.com. That's NWOalert.com. And, if you're a student, I want you to send me photos of activism at your school or in public, because there's more students out there that are being active that, aren't using an outlet like YouTube to get their message out there. And my YouTube, if you just search Rob Wanek on YouTube, you'll find videos of me on the Alex Jones Show, etc. And, you can see that the youth are waking up, that we're not being fed the propaganda. So, and in closing, like Thomas Jefferson said, a man who reads nothing is smarter than a man who reads only newspapers.
Yes, that's good. And two, Rob, Jim will have this video of this interview up later today on therealnewsradio.com if you want to put any of it on your website. And we certainly do appreciate you coming on, and we would like to have you back on again, sir.
Certainly.
Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That was Rob Wanek, NWOalert.com. Great interview. Commend him, young man fighting the good fight. We're going to take a break, then we're going to come back with a couple more news items, and then we will go to your phone calls. Farron, Brian on the Real News, WSIC 1400, WDSL 1520. All right, we're back on the Real News. That interview's got me fired up. If there's more people like Rob Wanek in the world, we wouldn't be in the situation we're in. We will go to the phone call shortly, but there's something that I wanted to comment on. This was reported by CNS News. Value of the 2008 bailouts exceed combined cost of all major U.S. wars. The total value of the bailouts undertaken by the federal government in 2008 now exceeds the combined cost of every major war in the United States has ever engaged in, according to a comparison of the war cost calculated by the Congressional Research Service, and the value of the bailouts as calculated by Bloomberg News or Banaco Research. According to CRS, all major U.S. wars, including such events as the American Revolution, the War of 1812, the Civil War, the Spanish-American War, World War I, World War II, Korea, Vietnam, Iraq, and Afghanistan, but not the invasion of Panama or the Kosovo War, cost a total of $7.2 trillion in inflation-adjusted dollars now. According to Bloomberg, the federal government has made commitments worth a total of $8.5 trillion in the bailouts of 2008. That includes actual expenditures as well as loans and asset guarantees. Banaco Research puts the total value of the bailouts at $8.7 trillion. The $296 billion spent on World War II, America's most expensive war, would be $4.1 trillion adjusted to today's dollars, according to the report. Brian, does this put some kind of perspective on what the bailout here actually represents and how maybe completely hopeless this is? I mean, you can't keep throwing money at this.
As I told you earlier, I don't know when it was this week, Farron, I told you I used to be anti-bailout. But now I'm actually become pro-bailout, because this thing, in my opinion, of course this show's all about opinions, this system absolutely positively cannot be saved. We're just running on fumes. Obama's about to propose practically $1 trillion bailout on top of all these other bailouts.
And we saw how magically that last bailout worked for us all.
Yeah, it worked great, didn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I saw newspapers hiring 2,500. You know, Harley-Davidson's not laying off 1,100. They're hiring 11,000. That's proof these bailouts don't work. Wake up, people.
It's just hopeless, and again, this next bailout that President Obama is proposing, actually I'm all for, because it'll hopefully give us 2-3 months, hopefully more, to get our financial houses in order.
Prepare.
To stock up on canned food and heirloom seeds and
guns
and bullets and everything else you're going to need in a society that completely collapses, which is where we're headed.
And while you're on that subject, we've got a video on our website. It's a featured video 2. It's not really radio friendly. We're not going to play it because it's just not something that audio-wise it would work. It's a great video on the demise of Great Britain, what has happened there with their gun control laws. This was sent to us by a couple of different listeners, Jim and Coov. But Great Britain has no handguns. All they have now, from what I understand, they can have a shotgun, not rifles. They have lost their rights to bear arms. And in my opinion, on the Second Amendment, it wasn't put in place as these goody two-shoes try to tell us so that we can have guns to hunt. The Second Amendment was put in place so that we can have guns to defend ourselves from a tyrannical, oppressive government, so that we can wage civil war if need be.
It was also put there to protect all the other amendments in the Constitution.
Yes, we can't protect the other amendments without the Second Amendment. We have to never give up our right to bear arms and to have guns. And the Obama administration is a gun-grabber administration. You just wait and see. They're going to try to do to us what they have done to the people of Great Britain. They have been neutered, and it's coming to a city near you.
If you watch the video, the citizens of Great Britain just stand in line, all holding countless guns.
Sheep.
Just handing them in. They show footage of like some kind of junkyard where they're scooping up guns literally by the truckload and cutting them up. And
vintage guns.
Yeah.